Get through the right morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hayesy on Nova.
Fitzy Fridays, Fitzy Fridays,
Fitzy Fridays.
The beautiful, always glowing Ryan Fitzgerald. Good morning to you, Fitzy.
Excuse me, did you speak to Pink this week?
How's this, right? Got a text message last night.
From
Pink's
Pink?
doing
Wow.
Because she doesn't really need to promote the tour anymore, Jade. So she's up doing sound check, and she said to the record company, I wouldn't mind talking to a couple of radio stations. So Nova gets the call. And they're like, Fitzy, what are you doing? Where are you? And I said, I'm just about, Lenny's going for a surf. Huey's about to go down to footy train and down at the Cockle Divers. And they said, can you jump into the studio quickly and have a chat to Pink? I said, yeah, sweet, no worries.
Oh, my God.
Had a quick shower, jumped into the studio and had a chat to Pink for 15 minutes.
That is outrageous.
Oh, who's on the phone? Oh, it's Alicia. Alicia who? Pink? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know you. You're famous. No, but see, the last time we were face-to-face with Pink was 10 years ago, right? And we've worked it out. She's done over 100 shows in Australia alone. I said to her, have you bought an investment property? Like, have you got a house in Australia? And she goes, you know what? Kerry and I haven't bought one yet, but we talk about all the time when the kids leave home and we're older that we'll come back to Australia and spend a few years here. They love it that much.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say, Fitzy, she's going from 50 to 40, to 20? She's just getting a tad lazy.
Well, the body, you know what it's like. It's like your footy career, Hayesy. The body just doesn't pull up anymore. It doesn't.
I saw some of the chat, Fitzy, and she was basically just talking about her kids, saying the eldest one wants to be a trauma surgeon and the youngest is just like, will probably end up going to jail.
She said he will be a DJ in Las Vegas. I said that's exactly the same as my second child as well. Lenny's the same. He'll be pouring beers down at the Colonnades Tavern and just kicking crew out. I think that'll be his job. But no, it is. It's up on our podcast right now. Get a little plug in. Thanks for that, guys.
You're welcome.
That's nice. Hey, Fitzy, before we let you go, we spoke earlier this morning about there's a genuine huge gender pay gap when it comes to men and women and haircuts. And we thought, who better to speak to about haircuts than the great Ryan Fitzgerald? What we wanted to know was that particular moment where you went, yeah, it's time to start shaving the head. And before then, how much were you paying for a chop?
I was only, you're right. Well, I held on for a very long time, Hayesy, and my advice to you, if you're starting to lose it, don't do it, because comb overs, Jodes, that was some of the worst years of my life. Yeah. Because, you know, when you walk past a car, they see your reflection in the mirror or in the window. Yeah. And I'd just be there. I would be there for 5 minutes trying to get it perfectly, just combing it to one side. The worst days of my life. But once you shave it, it is the best. And it costs around about, Hayesy, it's still $20 to get your head shaved at the hairdressers. It's still quite expensive. But yeah,
oh, shut up. $20? Are you joking? Well, do you know how much your wife spends on her hair? Do you have any?
Where do you get your head shaved at?
Do you know how much BJ spends on her haircuts and colours and all that sort of stuff? Or does she hide that from you?
I don't dare to ask, Jody. I don't dare to ask. What do you think it is?
Well, we did a quick poll around the room. We swing from anywhere between $100 and $600 to get your hair done.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
$600.
And then Hayesy pointed out that none of us have very nice hair anyway, so why are we spending so much money?
Yeah, but I said that with all due respect, so it was fine.
Yeah, well, Bon Jovi wrote a great song about it. You got to hold on with what you got. Doesn't make a difference if you're laser or not.
Yeah.
We've got each other. And that's the lot. Let's give it a shot. Oh, we're living without hair. It's a great song.
Oh, we love you, Fitzy.
Love you too, guys.
Joe, it's something that's really, really boggled my mind all these years.
Oh, yeah.
And that is, why do men stink so much worse than women? It's a genuine thing, isn't it?
Is it really?
Well, I think it absolutely must be. And there's a study that has revealed, particularly for teenagers, that boys stink so much worse than girls.
Teenage boys smell. Full stop.
But you haven't had a teenage boy, you've had a teenage girl.
No, but I've smelt them.
Oh, yeah. Horrible. Researchers compared body odour samples from 18 teenagers aged between 14 and 18. Analysis revealed the chemical composition collected from teenagers contained high levels of certain acids.
Ew.
So there you go. Some of the unique adjectives used to describe these acid odours included cheesy, fruity and dried plum-like, musty, coriander-like, fatty goat-like, wax-like and soapy and earthy grass and green bell pepper-like. They're not the sort of spices that you want to associate with a musk, particularly.
Coriander-like.
Oh, my
in
God.
particular.
Coriander-like.
No one
sounds
likes
delicious.
coriander.
No, it's horrible.
No, it's awful.
I sit there sometimes and I think, when I compare myself to my wife, how can I turn into such a toxic wasteland when I eat certain foods and she's completely fine? For example, when I eat one slice of red onion, you almost have to put one of those tents around my house and fumigate the entire street. It's absolutely horrible.
Are you that bad?
I'm that bad.
What happens?
I don't know.
What happens when the onion is digested and then it just comes out through your pores?
Yeah, different route out my skin. But it never happens to my wife. In fact, I'll go as far as saying I've never, and this might shock you, I've never even known my wife to even go to the toilet.
What do you mean?
She's never gone to the toilet in front of me, and she's never even passed wind in front of me. And she's been through 3 pregnancies as well.
Oh my God. Your wife has never farted.
So is she is she a rarity? Or are you tooting regularly in front of Greg?
Well, he knows. He knows. Like, as much as I might profess, that was the kids. He knows.
So I just wondered, I actually wonder if it even happens. But then someone else suggested to me the other day that as soon as I leave and the kids are out of the house.
Oh, yeah. She is in the
all
kitchen.
bets are off.
She's having the time of her life.
So she quite physically drops the kids off at school and then makes an extra visit to drop the kids off at the pool. And that commute takes about 45 minutes. Which could also make sense as to why I'm getting these notifications from my doorbell camera. It says
really?
There's some sort of thunderstorm happening in your house. I need to know if this is a thing, because otherwise I'm getting all the share of toxic gas wasteland. That's not fair.
I really need a chit chat. Let's have a chit chat. It is so time for a chit chat.
Let's go, girls.
Well, at this point, you can leave and go to the bar and buy us a bottle of champagne or do something like that. So this is Chick Chat. This is the stuff that us gals like to talk about off air. And you know what? Damn it. We're bringing it on air. We've got newsreader Abby. Are we single this week?
Yes.
Okay. We're not. Are you seeing anyone or seeing multiple people? Or
The limit does not exist.
okay. All right. And we've... and we've also got producer Zoe. Zoe, you're single.
I am.
Very career driven.
Yes, I am. That's the focus.
Gorgeous little 20-something, aren't you?
Thank you. Yeah.
And we're going to defer to you first up.
Yes. I had a bit of a conversation with some of my girlfriends over the weekend.
Bit of a theme zone. Bold and beautiful.
I love this show.
You feel like there could be some
my
saucy
gosh.
vibes coming.
Yeah, well, sort of. It was a bit of okay, all right, I'll paint you the picture. One of my girlfriends and I have dated a couple of the same blokes.
Right.
Her current boyfriend, who she's been with for nearly a year, I dated about 6 months before they got together.
How dated, though?
Too dramatic.
Like how dated?
Like one night dated.
Okay.
And this came to light in front of some of the other girls on the weekend, and they went, "Excuse me very much." And they thought it was absolutely bizarre that Ella and I have seen the same person.
And there's no... Ella feels all right about this?
Yeah,
There's no
we're
ill
both
feeling?
completely fine. We're both completely fine.
Okay.
But it was a big conversation with our friends because we went, well, is it off limits to date, hook up with your girlfriend's exes? In my argument, only if there are feelings involved. So I didn't have feelings for her current boyfriend, so I don't mind that they're together now.
Right.
Whereas if she was dating my recent ex, I'd have something to say about it.
But isn't it a little bit weird when all three of you are together?
No, it's actually not. No,
Right.
No.
Okay.
It's. I get that it seems weird, and everyone on the weekend was going, "What on earth? That is incredibly weird."
Yeah.
But to me, it's not. So I'm interested what you two think.
Look, well, I come from a family where my dad dated my auntie only the once before going out with my mum. It wasn't a one-night thing, I just want to add. Also, my sister, her second boyfriend, same thing happened. I guess they say one woman's trash is another woman's treasure.
Whoa, so that's what Zoe's saying about her friend's boyfriend.
No, I'm not at all. I am not. No, he's a great friend.
I guess so as well. So I'm coming to the point where it's Adelaide, number one.
Yes.
And number two, like I'm at the point now I'm thinking I'm waiting for someone to divorce so that I can, have
get a trained one.
After. Yeah, and get a trained one, yes. So I guess, you're right. If there's not really any feelings involved and it was only a one-night date, then fine.
What do you think, Jodes?
Okay, there's no such thing as a one-night date, by the way. I think grow up. I think, if you genuinely care about your friend and you want them to be happy and they find happiness with someone you've been with, then so be it.
Absolutely. Yeah. But
you must look at Ella and go, I'm happy you're
happy.
Thank
God, look at you guys. They're so great together and we're all such great friends still. But one of the other girls was like, absolutely not. And she said, for the record, anyone I've ever hooked up with, no matter how long for, who it was, blah, 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 off limits.
You can't put dibs on people.
Well,
you can't put dibs on other human beings.
Apparently
They're
can.
not property. You don't own them. You don't have a right, just because you've been with them, to say, none of my friends can go near them.
But I guess, is it weird?
Unless in that particular date something outrageous happened, if you know what I mean. It was like, hey, when we had that date and I wore that dress and I barked for you like a dog?
Yeah.
But nothing crazy happened though, did it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that could be the.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Definitely don't.
If it got weird.
Yeah.
This is why we don't involve you in chit chat.
It just got weird.
Oh my God. Okay, let's do this. 13 24 10. Is dating your friend's ex off limits? You should have stayed in the bar, mate.
Let's have a chit chat. It is so time for a chit chat.
Let's go, girl.
So our sweet little beautiful innocent producer Zoe has revealed that she hooked up with one of her best friend's partners before they got together. So it does beg the question on 13 24 10, is your friend's ex off limits? Got quite a few phone calls.
Yeah, it's going to light up.
Yeah, let's go to Jo. Have you been in this situation?
Yes, I have. I have a best friend of, sort of from my early teens. And then when I was about 18, 19, I was with a guy that we ended up getting engaged and we lived together and everything like that. And he treated me pretty bad towards the end of that relationship. And this girlfriend that was my best friend at the time, they hated each other back then.
Yeah.
And then 25, 30 years later, we came across him when we were out for dinner one night, and 2 days later she said that he'd contacted her and asked her out for dinner, and I said, oh look, go, sort out your differences from all those years ago, whatever,
Yeah.
And next thing they got together and we're moving in and everything like that, and we had a massive fight, and I said, you just don't go there. And she said, oh, can't I be happy, he's wonderful, blah 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 blah. And I said, don't you remember what things were like? And she doesn't, sort of thing. And, it's just about destroyed our, lifelong friendship.
Aww.
Anyway.
Wow. There you go.
And so is she still with him now?
No. It all went bad after a couple of years. He was very controlling. And, I pretty much had very little contact with her the couple of years that they were together.
Yeah.
And our relationship, our friendship is still a little bit strained, but, we're still, pretty good friends, so we survived it. But,
well, that's good.
All the people, it was him, and it just, the one person in my life that would have been the worst person in the world for her to get with, and she got with him.
Yeah, there you go.
I told you so moment there for Joanne.
Tried to warn her.
Let's go to Chloe. Have you been in the situation? Have you hooked up with your friend's ex?
No, other way around.
Oh.
I was best friends with a girl, basically lived at each other's houses, had each other's passwords to each other's phones. I was at her house one day, gone onto her phone, Snapchat message, whoop, pops up, it's from my ex, and I've just scrolled through hundreds of messages and photos of them hanging out behind my back. Just seen them hanging out with his friends and all of that, whatever else. So I basically said, look, very amicable. I said, I have to go. I'll see you later. She didn't have any idea, but I'd left her phone open with all the messages on her bed, so she exactly knew what I had seen.
Yep.
a couple months go by, they break up. He messages me and goes, "Oh, I was really, hurting over you, and I just got with her to make you jealous. But can we get back together?"
Oh my God!
What a pig.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
You didn't get back with him, did you, Chloe?
No, and you're not friends.
Definitely not. No.
Okay.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Chloe. That's not pleasant when you stumble on messages like that.
No.
Let's go to Ayla. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Has this happened to you or you've done it to someone else?
It happened to me, actually, and I'm absolutely fine with it. When I was in high school, I dated someone. We ended. It was, very mature, and that's now my best friend's fiancé.
Whoa.
Wow.
And you're all good with it?
Yeah, I mean, 6 years later, we're fine. We were all a good friendship group, and then we all went off and did our own thing, and, it's absolutely fine.
So, were you... Hang on, best friend's fiancé, so they're not married yet?
No, they're not married yet. They get married in next year.
And are you the maid of honour?
I am.
Love that.
Yeah. So, but no, we're all really good friends, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's nice,
isn't it? Cute. Just sharing boyfriends. Yeah. Why not? One more, Jennifer. What's happened?
All right. So it wasn't a dating story, but my friend was from the country, and she came to Adelaide to meet up with this guy that she had been talking to on Tinder, and she just thought he was being a bit sketchy, but they talk on the phone for an hour every night. And I came with her into the city, and he stood her up. So we went out and partied and had a great night. And then about 1.5 years later, I'd met this new guy, moved in with him, and she came over, and it was the same guy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
Such an Adelaide story.
That's so classic Adelaide, isn't it?
And so did you find out why he stood her up in the end?
Apparently he was interstate, but but still, bit of respect to the corner. But I'm still with him now. It's been 5 years, and I just hung out with her on the weekend, so I think it's okay as long as there's no feelings involved.
Very nice. Water under the bridge.
There you go.
That's good. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, are there ever feelings involved on Tinder?
Yeah, sort of starts, if you do get feelings from Tinder, well done. Congratulations. I don't think that's what it's there for, to be honest.
I don't think that's the main primary objective, is it?
Yeah, right.
Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer.
Some very good stories here, wasn't there? Crazy stories. Not many that I can relate to, because the first person I met and fell in love with, of course, was Gara. Yeah,
wow.
so.
Yeah, me too. Only it was green.
You fell in love with Gara.
The lion's walls say different, Hayesy.
Oh, excuse me very much.
Whoa!
I'm just going to punch you out of here right now. Thanks, I think we can both comfortably say that we're big Eminem fans.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Guy's an absolute legend. Well, he's come out and there's one particular song that he said that he will not play live anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because it's too offensive.
Oh,
and can you believe that from the mouth of Eminem?
Yeah, wow.
The bloke who's put together so many songs with so many words, you're like, I didn't think that I could be offended by that, but here I am crying.
Yeah. And he's seriously offended so many other people in Hollywood.
There's one particular song where he teams up with D12 where he talks about burning down the White House. Dead set. Is it true? And so it got banned, obviously, in America and censored and all these types of things, but you're like, wow, you're saying stuff like that, Marshall? How are you possibly getting offended with other songs?
So true.
It's a song about his mother. Oh. It's called Cleaning Out My Closet.
I'm sorry, Mama. I never meant to hurt you.
Yeah, he's got some mummy issues.
Oh, yeah.
That much we know.
Yeah.
So in this song, he calls his mum a selfish B-I-T, I don't know how to spell it, who he hopes will burn in hell, and vows that she'll never get to see his daughter Hayley. So despite their relationship remaining estranged to this day, his words in 2014's Headlights, which was a different song, offered a chance to make amends as he rapped about hating their dysfunctional relationship. He eventually got sued by his mum.
Oh.
She tried to sue him for $10 million in 1999, but get this. She eventually settled 2 years later for $25,000.
Wow.
So she couldn't get any coin about it. But he's come out and said, I'm not going to sing that anymore because even though I don't have a relationship with my mother, it's not fair on her.
Okay.
Oh, good on you, Eminem.
I mean, that's
what a role model.
That's called emotional growth.
Yeah.
From Marshall Mathers.
Yes.
Well done.
It's also from the same bloke who released this song. It's called Shake That.
Shake that for me. Shake that.
Some really, really nice lyrics coming up as well, which you're going to love, Jodes.
Oh, yeah.
That for me.
Come on, girl, shake that bum for me. Shake that bum for me.
I'm a menace, a dentist, an oral hygienist.
I'm a menace, a dentist, an oral hygienist. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodness me. Do you know what song I always get really triggered by? It's a stupid Akon song where he sings about sexy biatches. Can I say that?
That one where Akon's paying some really, really nice compliments.
Yeah.
What about this is in the system and it's called Sexy Chick, the Squeaky Clean Edit.
There's one line in it where he says something like, there's nothing that compare to your neighbourhood, like that WH. And I'm like, oh my God. So he's trying to hook up with this chick, obviously, right, by systematically offending the sisterhood everywhere by saying, oh, you're better than all those other.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That probably deserves apology. Thoughts on this absolute classic, though, as well, from Cardi B, which we don't play enough here on Nova.
From the top, make it drop.
That's some wet.
Now get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet.
Where's our apology for this?
I know.
Mainly because I don't understand what's going on in the lyrics. Can someone please explain via the text line? 0499199919.
I mean, did her cat run under the sprinkler? What's going on?
Who needs a mop for what?
Hayesy, what's the one thing everyone sees before you die?
Oh, I love this stuff.
So
that's the question, isn't it?
Obviously, there's a lot of speculation. There's the one theory that you see your entire life flashing before your eyes.
Yeah.
There's one theory that says you see a bright white light and someone sort of beckoning for you.
Okay.
Come hither. Or a complete out-of-body experience. They're just a few options.
When you say out of body, does that mean like you're looking at yourself?
Yeah, you're looking down at yourself.
They're sort of hovering above yourself.
Yeah, you'd be shirtless.
I'd be like, put a shirt on, mate. You're like, is that what I look like? I'd be floating above myself going, oh, wow, you are balding.
So I guess the thing is you'll never know. The only thing that we truly know is from people who have nearly died and come back to life.
Yeah.
And my understanding just from reading about this stuff is 9 times out of 10 they say they see the white light.
Okay.
But there's a hospice nurse called Julie McFadden from LA, and she's taken to TikTok, the most reliable of medical platforms, to say of all her experiences, she has had the majority of patients who she's held their hand before they've died as they enter their final days. And this is what happens according to her. A month before they're about to shuffle off their mortal coil, someone comes to visit.
Oh, wow.
Have a listen.
Most people will start talking or seeing dead relatives, dead loved ones, dead friends, dead pets before they die. And it's not like right before they die. It's usually about a month before they die. Very alert and oriented and clearly speaking and seeing someone who has already died.
I said to you about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a dream about my dead dog.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
That I saw her randomly. Someone else had my dog, was walking down the street and was stopped, and I said hello to it, and it was definitely my dog.
Hang on. Whoa. How many weeks ago was that?
Is it hot in here?
Wait.
Why is my heart racing at 300 beats
How
per
many
minute?
weeks ago did you dream about seeing Indiana, who died a couple of months ago?
That was about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Whoa, you got a week left.
Yeah.
Isn't that bizarre? She said sometimes they see the people in dreams, but sometimes they actually see them physically.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Can I ask you this question? Don't make me regret it and don't make a joke, but what do you think actually happens when we die? Is that it? Are we done?
It's a good question, is it? Because I don't, obviously I don't know because I haven't been there and come back, but I can't get my head around the fact that you don't exist in some sort of space. I can't get my head around the fact that that's it.
Yeah.
And at least your spirit isn't in some way alive and still connected to something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I would hold on to the hope that your spirit exists in some form. And also that you'll see other people, like your children down the track. Or I know I'm not ruling out that you don't come back.
Yeah, okay.
I reckon maybe might be something to reincarnation. But there are too many stories in the world about spirits, etc., for them not to exist, don't you think?
Absolutely.
And we were saying off air, because it got a little bit deep, way deeper than we normally get. We normally just talk about Port and Crows on the weekend.
And fresh hits and throwbacks.
Yeah. But we were saying that the very fact that we're here and we exist blows my mind. So to say that there's nothing after that and to dismiss it just seems completely reductive.
Yeah.
If we're here, and we're existing, there has to be something out there as well. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, well, it's very deep, very deep. If you've got some thoughts as well, I mean, text them through 0400 919 919. On the flip side of that, it would flatten me to find out if there were spirits and you went to a different place and say I caught up with my relatives, and their first question would be, why do you take your clothes off completely when you go to the toilet?
No, exactly.
Why are you doing that? And I have to explain to them the whole situation.
I do hope my Pop George comes to get me, though. Also, if Indiana was to contact you again before you die, which is obviously imminent, I wonder if she's going to ask for you to bring some schmackos or...
I'm going to ask her if she's now continent when it comes to going to the toilet. And she's like, oh, no, it's okay. I piss everywhere in heaven as well. Jodes, you got a little bit morbid. We started talking about the things that potentially happen before you die.
There's the one theory that you see your entire life flashing before your eyes. There's one theory that says you see a bright white light and someone sort of beckoning for you.
Okay.
Come hither. Or a complete out-of-body experience. There's just a few options. But there's a hospice nurse called Julie McFadden to say, of all her experiences, she has had the majority of patients who she's held their hand before they've died as they enter their final days. A month before they're about to shuffle off their mortal coil, someone comes to visit.
Oh, wow.
Have a listen.
Most people will start talking or seeing dead relatives, dead loved ones, dead friends, dead pets before they die. And it's not like right before they die. It's usually about a month before they die. Very alert and oriented and clearly speaking and seeing someone who has already died.
Ooh, that's intense, isn't it?
And then we were talking about this after the show, and newsreader Kerry came into the studio and she said, oh my God, have I got a story for you. Tell everyone about your grandma.
It's my grandma. It happened. It actually happened. It wasn't in the days before. It was, as that hospice nurse said, probably 3 or 4 weeks before she passed.
Yeah.
She was in hospital waiting for a bed in aged care, which eventually came, and she didn't need it for very long. But she was in
spoiler alert.
So she was in hospital, and so we would rotate through family members visiting her, and my mum would go and see her every afternoon to cut up her dinner.
Yeah.
She didn't need it cut up for her, but she liked it being cut up for her.
Yeah.
And on this particular day, Mum said to me, Grandma had someone with her today.
What do you mean?
And I said, oh, okay, like another visitor. She said, well, no. And as soon as I walked in, Grandma said, oh, he's gone.
Oh, spooky.
And Mum said, I don't know quite what you mean.
Yeah.
Grandma said, there's someone holding my hand.
Yeah.
It's a child. Now, my grandmother had lost a child when he was 3. He passed away. And I don't know how you ever would get over the loss of a child.
No, at that age.
She went on to have 2 more children, my mum being one of them.
Yeah.
And they just were chatting, Mum and Grandma, and then a little bit later, Grandma said, oh, he's back. I can feel the warmth of him holding my hand again.
Yeah.
And so Mum just said, because it was specifically him, she was saying him. And so Mum said, is it Bevan? And she said, I don't know. I can't see a face, but I think so.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
So her little boy came to say, it's okay, Mum. It's okay. It was so comforting.
Yeah.
It really was so comforting for Grandma. She felt completely at ease with it.
Yeah.
And the whole family just went, okay.
That's the thing. I think that's the thing about death, though, right? If you know that there's like my Pop George is going to be waiting for me when I pass over, doesn't that make you feel so much better?
Yeah.
About leaving?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's giving me goosebumps, that story. 13 24 10, let's do this. Have you been visited by a spirit?
Yes.
We're not talking Johnny Walker. But have you...
Which can be very evil. Oh, yeah. We're talking scary paranormal activity.
Okay, it's hard to summarise these things in a few words or less, but I'm going to try. So basically, there's a hospice nurse who's held the hands of thousands of people who've died, and she said they all describe having someone from the afterlife come and visit them a month before they die.
Yeah, it's intense, isn't it?
And then newsreader Kerry came and said, oh my God, that happened to my grandma. She lost a child, a 3-year-old, and he came to visit her in hospital 3 weeks before she died.
I haven't had any connection with the afterlife.
Haven't you?
But there's too many stories.
Yeah, right.
There's too many stories for it not to exist.
A lot of connection with spirits, though, haven't you?
Yes, all sorts of different sort of spirits, mainly of the brown variety.
Okay, 13 24 10. Give us a call this morning. Have you conversed with a spirit? And everyone that gets on here goes in running for first class and 50K. Let's go. Why am I talking like this?
I don't know. It's creeping me out, though. What happens when you keep talking like that?
Okay. Liam. Good morning, Liam.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good, good. What happened?
So I'm 60 now, but in my early 40s, I had a heart attack and passed away. And I was brought back to life in an operating theatre.
Whoa!
So it was the day before Christmas. I woke up, said to my wife, I'm having a heart attack. She rang an ambulance. They said they'd be 15 minutes. She said they can't wait. So I got in the car and she drove me to the hospital, and I got out at Flinders, drove straight up the where the ambulance goes.
Yeah.
I got out the car and passed out and fell over. They put me on a gurney and I died. They put me into the hospital. I came out of my body and sat on a shelf in the top of the emergency ward. And this gentleman or lady, I don't know whether it was a man or a woman in a white outfit, came and sat next to me. And I'm watching them work on me. And he said, you can't come yet. You got young kids. You got 3 kids. You've got to go home. And I said, I'm happy here. And then the next thing, I woke up the next day and I was in a ward, and a nurse walked in and said, hi, Liam, and I called her by her name. And she said, how do you know my name? And I said, you're in the emergency ward working on me last night, and I could see your name badge.
I'm okay.
So, how long were you gone for?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, Liam, so can you describe that moment where they sort of gave you the option whether you could go towards the light? And you said you were happy to go. So at that point you were
I was never been happier. In fact, when I was in the car driving to the hospital, I was in so much pain. It was the worst pain I've ever had in my life. It felt like someone was poking me through the chest with a red-hot rod. And then when I physically died and I'm sitting on the shelf, I've never had a more happier experience in my life, and I was happy. And that person sat next to me and said, it's not your time, you can't come. And I said, I want to come. And they said, you have to go back, your kids need you. And that was it. Then I woke up the next day. I was in a room. I can't remember the nurse's name, but she walked in and I called her by her name.
Yeah.
And she said, how do you know that's my name? And I said, because I heard them talking in the operating theatre yesterday.
That's unbelievable.
And all I remember is seeing my body on a bed, no clothes. There was blood everywhere. There was needles everywhere. There was nurses and doctors rushing around, calling certain things. And I'm saying, well, that was okay. That wasn't a bad life. I've never been happier.
Wow.
So would you describe it as euphoric, that feeling that you had in that moment?
It was like, going on a roller coaster ride and, adrenaline rush.
Wow. Liam, thank you so much for sharing that story. That is crazy.
Yep, and I'm still alive. I've now got, I've got 8 grandchildren that I wouldn't have had if I'd never. So happy and healthy now.
Oh my God, Liam! Amazing. So you're clearly happy with your choice to stay then?
Absolutely happy, but I don't know. All I know is that it's not bad on the other side of it.
Yeah, right. So you don't fear death now?
It doesn't concern me at all.
Wow.
Okay, I could quit radio now. That is the most incredible story I've ever heard in my life. Liam, thank you so much. That's unbelievable.
I quite regularly see deceased relatives that come and visit as well.
Do you? Wow.
Yeah, they just pop into the bedroom, walk past down the hall, just look at me and smile.
Tell you what, Liam, might be time for you to do a podcast, I reckon. Because I'm on board.
We don't ever encourage people to do podcasts, but wowee.
Wow, that's amazing.
Far out.
Oh, wow. I've got the shivers. There you go.
Liam, thank you so much.
I'm just going to go take a cold shower.
Okay.
That is intense, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I just can't even. Yeah. Wowee.
You're probably right now, if you've got kids, just enjoying the school run What a magnificent time of the morning that is. Not hectic at all.
No.
So smooth, so effortless.
Oh, you got your lunchbox, you got your jumper. Where are your runners?
Yeah. Why aren't you getting dressed? Get dressed. I told you to do that 20 minutes ago and you haven't done it.
Get out of the shower. Have you had breakfast, etc., and so it goes on.
Yeah, they're just some of the outrageous little conversations that happen in my household. I've got 3 kids.
How would you know?
Yeah,
You're never there.
That's true. It's relayed back to me.
Yeah.
I've 3 kids, so a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old and a 5-month-old. And my 3-year-old in the middle, her name is Lottie. And she's quite the individual. It was only late last year that we spoke about the time where she gave me some solid feedback about how she felt about me.
Lottie, what? Do you love Daddy?
No, I hate Daddy.
Ouch.
Why? I hate you.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So early prediction, she's going to be a handful.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll calm down when she becomes a teenager.
It'll be so
She'll
fun.
be fine.
Teenage girls are a dream.
I've heard that. Oh,
my God.
Yeah, straight down the line, straight shooters, nothing going on.
Can I tell you, at one stage, you'll look at your 15-year-old girl and you'll go, who are you?
Yeah.
And what have I raised?
Yes.
And how have you turned from this beautiful little angel who loved Daddy, although that's never happened to you, has it?
No.
Into this just creature who can't stand you.
Oh, look, I can't wait for those years. So I should just enjoy this moment right now.
Sure.
So she's at ELC, and I expect when I go pick her up from ELC to get this sort of response. But instead at the moment I'm getting this. I don't really understand why. I understand what I do completely understand is that Mum's a favourite because Mum spends more time and Mum does everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mum's my favourite as well.
Yeah.
So I get it. But the last 3 times that I've picked up Lottie from ELC, instead of the, "G'day, Dad, how are you? Good to see you, love you, kiss."
Runs up from 30 metres away.
Instant tears. Instant tears.
Oh, no.
With a quick explanation of, "I thought Mum was going to pick me up. I want Mum to pick me up."
Oh, no.
And then straight away I look around and you look at the teachers and you can feel the teachers go, "How's he going to react to this?"
Yeah.
Because he's in a bit of a real interesting situation.
And so what do you do?
So straight I'm like, let's go straight home and see Mum. Oh, she's a funny one, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be upset.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how to handle myself.
Yeah.
But it's happened 3 times in a row. If it keeps on happening, I'm getting to the stage where I'm not super pumped to go pick up my daughter from ELC because it's quite the journey, emotional journey for her, obviously.
It's just easier for Mum to do it. Well, I get that all the time with Harper, my 4-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Oh, loves Daddy. Just loves Dad. So every time I pick her up from creche or kindy, it's like, Daddy said he was going to pick me up. And then Daddy has done me an absolute disservice by telling her every morning, Daddy will pick you up.
Yeah.
So then when Mum rocks up, it's like a double whammy.
How very disappointing.
But then also at kindy, she wants to go on the swings. I'm like, dude, you've been here all day.
Yeah.
You've been here from 9 to 3. Why do we need to spend an extra 15 minutes on the swings? And do you know what she hits me with? Daddy lets me.
Yes.
Does he?
Well played.
Does he really?
Well played, Harper. That's what it's all about. 13 24 10, when have your kids torn you down?
Just ripped your heart out.
So many times I cruise into ELC
Yeah.
and I'm so confident.
Yeah.
I go, here we go.
Today's the day.
Oh, geez, you know what? Oh, there's my beautiful little daughter. Looking forward to giving her a hug.
She hasn't seen me all
And
day.
she hits me, tears. Where's Mum? What a rip-off. Boo. Boo to Dad. And I just feel for the teachers who awkwardly have to see how I react.
I know. Well, 13 24 10, let's do it. When have your kids just torn you apart, ripped your little heart out?
Yay, for all the parents in a similar position to me. G'day, kids.
I hate you.
L for love. 13 24 10. We'll take your calls next. Talking about the times that your kids have completely torn you down. It's been 3 consecutive times that I've picked up my daughter from ELC and she has burst into tears because I'm Dad, not Mum.
Yeah.
Hurts.
She looks like an angel.
Yeah, she looks like an angel, but inside, some real devilish tactics.
Yeah.
And then I just got a message from my wife. They're on their way to school drop-off.
Yeah.
And she said, Henry, my other kid in the car, said, wants to know why you're not talking about him.
Oh, well, you are not kicking any goals at home.
Love you, Henry.
At all. 13 24 10, we're taking your calls this morning. When have your kids just torn you down and ripped your heart out? Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Jody. How are you? And good morning, Hayesy, too.
Morning, Sus.
Hayesy, you have met my grandson at Earth Clay Studios when we were there for some pottery classes.
Oh, yes.
You met little Archie.
Yep.
And I am heartbroken. It's not my child. It's my grandson who, he sees me, he just sort of looks blankly at me and says, "Where's Papa? Where's Papa?"
No. Straight to it.
He blanks me completely.
Yeah.
It crushes me every time. But, yeah, where's Papa?
Yeah.
Where's Papa?
And Susan, I'm guessing you do the bulk of the hands-on work too with Archie.
Oh, my gosh. I buy him the clothes. I ring my daughter and say, "I'll get him this, I'll get him that."
Barbara.
But, where's Papa? Where's Papa?
That's sad.
It kills me.
Hang in there.
And I think it's worse with grandchildren. Yeah.
Good morning, Anne. When's your kid crush
Good morning,
you?
guys.
Hi.
So this is, my daughter's 25 now, so this is quite a number of years ago. But my late husband found a fabulous Barbie TV all-in-one cassette recorder on the side of the road, and he was a handy person.
Yeah.
So he brought it home, did it all up, cleaned it up, and he was so proud of this Barbie TV.
Yeah.
So Tara got home from school, and he goes, "Got a surprise for you, look at this." So he gives her the Barbie TV, and with that, she turned to him and goes, "Dad, don't you know that I hate Barbie?" And he goes, "When did you hate Barbie?"
Poor Dad.
Why wasn't I told? Where was the memo? So he was devastated.
Very sad, Anne.
Unfortunately for dads, we don't pick up some of the cues, but what we do learn along the journey, particularly for infant girls, is they change their mind on the spot.
Well, they can. And Barbie, I think, was out of favour for being, not exactly advancing the cause of feminism for a while there. And then the Barbie movie hit. Next minute, she's back in.
She's back in.
Who's to say? Sarah, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. I'm sensing you mightn't be the favourite.
Yeah, not every 2 weeks. So we've got Dad who flies out for work, and even though Mum's a fun one, why can't you leave, Mum? We'll drop you off to the airport.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
How
crush.
do you respond to that, Sarah?
Oh, look, we'll do it all again in another fortnight.
Why aren't you going, Mum? Get in the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Let's go to Pat very quickly. Hey, Pat.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning.
I've got a 12-year-old. When she was 4 and she used to have lots of tantrums, she said to me once, shouting, "You've ruined all of my life." And I just said to her, "Well, you're only 4. It's the only way up is from here." And I just want to very, very quickly say, I'm 51. I had a baby 2 years ago, 10-year frozen embryo, but it gets me that his daddy is his favourite.
I love
to know the mechanics behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, I love that you went through that at 49, but we love Daddy.
Yep.
Oh, good on you, Pat. Thank you. Thank you for all your calls this morning.
I'm not sure some of the ladies grow out of that phrase as well, because if you're 4 years old or however old you are, 30 plus, and you've said that to me before as well, you've ruined all
my
of
whole
my life.
life.